Your Norwex independent sales consultant. One of the things I hear consistently from customers is how much they dislike mopping and sweeping. Part of the problem is if you use a traditional mop, you're dealing with a bucket and the cleaner you have to get from the store and taking it around with you. And of course, when you use up that cleaner, you're going to buy more. And if you're using a modern mop pad or a mop system that uses disposable mop pads, you're buying and rebuying those disposable mop pads as you go through them. And if you have a bigger house, maybe you even use 2 mop pads at a time to get through your whole floor area. And again, you're going back to the store to get more as you burn through them. And that's not great for your wallet, it's not great for the environment, and it's just not handy. And with both of those, you have to be careful not to leave enough residue on the floor that it's tacky. And even if your floor feels good, you are still leaving a residue that in turn attracts more dust and dirt to it, so you're gonna have to clean it again sooner. And I don't know if it's just me, but I cannot be the only one who's had that last minute person text and say, hey, I'm stopping over to your house to drop something off, and you're like, oh no, I've got to clean really quickly, and you're rushing through the bathroom and doing the floors really quickly, and they walk in, and you can tell the moment that the cleaning smell hits them, and they realize that you just cleaned because they were coming over, and that's a little embarrassing. And so I want to tell you about Norwex's mop starter system because it solves all of those problems. First, it's a one-time purchase. It has a 2-year guarantee. You don't have to keep going back to the store every time you go through cleaner or every time you are out of your mop pads, because Norwex uses a reusable mop pad system. And if you host a party or you sign up as a consultant, you can get your mop for free or at a great discount. There's also, don't have to worry about a bucket to carry around with you, or a bucket that could get spilled or your kids or pet get into. And it's more conscientious and environmentally helpful. It's also non-toxic because you're cleaning with microfiber and water. Now, to be considered microfiber, something has to be 1/6 the size of human hair. Norwex makes all of their microfiber between 1/100th and 1/200th the size of human hair. This means it's so tightly made that as it's going over a surface, if you are using it according to the proper care and use instructions, you are cleaning up to 99% of the bacteria and germs and dirt off of that surface using just the physical properties of the microfiber and water. So this is again kind of a personal favorite of mine, when you're cleaning with Norwex's mop system, because you're just using water, no one can tell if you did that last minute clean. So if you have your mother-in-law stopping by, or your best friend is coming over, or a mom of one of your kids' friends, they're coming in, go to town, do that last minute quick 5-minute cleaning, because they're gonna walk in and it's gonna look clean, and they're not gonna be able to tell that you did anything special for them coming. And guys, clean has no smell. If you're smelling clean stuff, it's perfumes added to whatever cleaning product you use. And of course, because you're just using water and microfiber, there's no residue that's being left behind to attract more. So not only do you nix the bucket and the cleaning products and the disposable mop pads and the hassle and the rebuying constantly, your clean also lasts longer. So there are a couple features that I want to highlight, and some of them come with the superior mop starter system. The handle, it's a telescopic ergonomic handle, lefty-loosey, righty-tighty. So you want it to be between your nose and your chin, and as you're mopping, you're going to go in a figure 8 to get the dust and dirt, and your front is going to, it's the bigger side, and it's what's going to be first with getting the dirt up. So the head swivels very nicely, and that figure 8 action gets up the dirt and the dust and the hair. Now, this is not going to replace a little dustpan or brush or an EnviroCloth, but it is gonna pick up the hair and the dirt and the dust. If you are like my house and you end up with peas and carrots and corn on the floor, it's not going to get those up. It's not gonna hold onto them, but it will put shit into a pile. And when you're done, you can grab a little dustpan and brush or the Enviro cloth and go over and get that up, whatever is pushed to the front. Then, when I'm done, I step on the broom or the mop, bring the handle back down, and I take it over the trash can. I'm not gonna take it to the trash can for you, I'm just gonna do it back onto the floor. So, you can see all that it gets back down. And there's our little pile. And again, normally I would do that into the trash can, but for illustrative purposes, I'll do it there. So this is the dry mop pad, and it's Norwex's microfiber, and it's a plush microfiber that is statically charged. Funny story about this, really quickly. My husband is a tidier, I am a cleaner. His logic is when he is going from one room to the next, if there's something that needs to go there, he'll take it with him because it saves time later. And I am a cleaner. I like, do the counters and the tables and the windows and the mirrors and things that need to be wiped out and washed. He is not a cleaner. So we just moved into our house, and I was coming down the steps, and I look into the kitchen, and my not cleaning husband has the mop out. And you already know it can go up and down as it needs to, and he's taller than I am, but he had it at like my height, and he's bent over, going along the kitchen floor, and I said, Andrew, what are you doing? He said, come see, you gotta come see this is awesome. So I came down the steps, came over, and bent over to see what he's looking at. So we're both going along the kitchen floor with our heads to the ground or our bottoms in the air, and he's like, it's actually zapping the dirt to it. And I looked, and it was. And it's not gonna take something that, is 6 inches across the room and zap it to it. But any amount that it's pulling and attracting dirt to it when it's not actually on top of that dirt is saving you time and hassle. And it is, scientifically, it's just awesome to see that at work in your house. So my husband, he is a centered kind of guy. So you can see this is centered. But I prefer to use it off center. This. So that when I'm going along the surface of like our bookshelf, I can have a nice, clean, straight edge. Alternately, because there's so much that hangs off at this end, if I want to clean the baseboards, come along and I clean the baseboard. And it's pretty handy. So there's also these brackets. If you have arthritis or trouble with your joints, or you just have really high walls and windows, it is really handy to use this mop system. So instead of having it swivel like it normally does, because right now it can swivel like this and like this, there's a little green tab that I will lock in place. So now I can go along and do the walls. Here, and I can do the same thing with the windows. I have this mop window attachment. It snaps on, and I will use the wet pad to do that. So after I sweep with Norwex's dry mop pad, and it says dry on it, so you know, and the wet says wet on it. And when you're done with these, you can hang them up by the tabs, but you can also think blue for wetter. So after I'm done with the dry one, I will use the wet one to mop. And you can use this on the floor, but also for those windows. So I'll get this wet. If you have hardwood, you're gonna wanna spritz it wet. And if you have laminate or linoleum or something like that, you can take it over to your sink, get it wet, wring it out, and then use it. So you can use it on your floor, but you can also use it on your windows. Get your windows wet, clean them, and then take your Norwex window cloth, and you've got the brackets here. Snap in, snap in, and snap in. And you can go over and polish polish the windows to a streak-free shine. And it doesn't matter, you can make this higher or lower, however you need to go. Now, speaking of windows and walls and those surfaces, there's the Norwex mop pad, which is fantastic, or tile mop pad, which is fantastic for tile floors, but it is also wonderful for your showers and tubs. So if you're like me and you hate cleaning your shower and tub combo, get the Norwex tile mop pad and add it to your starter mop collection, because it's going to save you so much time in the bathroom. And then we have the Enviro wand, which is great for dusting. It's another, you can get it on its own, or you can get it to use with your telescopic mop handle. So I'll take this out, take this out, pop it in, and I can use it to clean the fan, ceiling blades, or along bookshelves and the like. And lastly, Norwex has this ball on the end, which is great for design, but it's also made to get scuff marks off the floor. So if you have scuff marks on the floor, it's almost like a giant eraser, and you can go to town to get the scuff marks off the floor. So this is a superior mop starter system, as well as some options you can purchase with it. And if you have questions, I'm glad to answer them.